Hey guys, welcome back to Yoga with Leona, your site for everything about yoga in breast cancer recovery. I'm coming to you today with another one of our chair assisted yoga practices. So we'll start in the chair and do a few spine warm ups, and then we'll do some standing poses, and then we will get on the floor. So it's not a fully chair yoga practice, but we're just going to use the chair to help us with some alignment today. So find yourself a chair. If you want to explore using yoga blocks instead of the chair for some of the standing poses, you could bring your two yoga blocks, and I'll show you how that works for sort of once, it's feeling really easy to you using the chair for alignment, you can use yoga blocks instead, and that gets you a little deeper into your hips. So if you want to have your two yoga blocks, you could have those along. And then also I recommend having a blanket or a folded towel today to put under the knees because we're going to practice sort of getting down and standing up from the floor. All right. So that all being said, let's go ahead and begin. So finding your comfortable seat, feeling nice and solid in the chair. Get your hips to where they feel very solid and stable in the chair, both feet planted in the floor and spine stretching nice and tall up and out of those hips. Maybe taking one or two deep breaths in and out to just arrive here to your practice, letting go of any sense of stress or rush that you feel off your mat, and protecting this time for yourself to just connect to your own body, to your breath, and to find some sense of comfort and ease here with yourself on your mat. So let's go ahead and shift into some deep, equal breathing. You can take this on your own count, but just slowly begin to feel with each breath, deepening a little further, feeling the diaphragm pull down into your belly on each exhale. And I'm sorry, on each inhale. And then on each exhale, feeling that diaphragm pull up and pushing the air up and out of the lungs. So inhaling, belly expands as the diaphragm pushes down. Exhaling, belly might pull back in slightly as the diaphragm pushes up and expels the air from your lungs. So keep breathing like this, nice, calm, slow, equal breathing to just set the stage and get yourself into a place of relaxation before we begin. So the theme of today's practice is about learning to trust our bodies. So trust is sort of a common theme in mindfulness practice as well as in yoga philosophy. And there are a lot of different ways you can think about trust. It can be sort of more esoteric, thinking about sort of trusting the universe or trusting a higher power if you're so inclined. But today we're going to talk about learning to trust our own bodies. It's so common for us as cancer survivors, or honestly for anyone who's aging or had any medical problems, to lose a little bit of confidence and trust in our bodies. And we worry that we might not be able to do the things that we used to be able to do. And that can really limit us and make us feel tense and anxious when we're trying to be active. So I think it's one of the beautiful things about yoga that the way in which yoga helps us reconnect and really get dialed in and tuned into our own bodies and our own breath, it helps us rebuild that trust. Because the more connected we are, the better we can listen, the better we can hear what our bodies need on any given day or at any moment during our practice, and the better equipped we are to respond to what our bodies are feeling or doing in any moment. So my invitation for you today is, as we move through the practice, just imagine cultivating that sense of trust, of reconnecting to your body like a good old friend, so that we're not feeling that sort of antagonism or sort of disconnection to our bodies. That's so, so common. All right, let's take just a couple more deep breaths in and out, and then we'll begin our movement. All right, when you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open if you had them closed. And let's take just a couple of shoulder shrugs. So lifting those shoulders up and pulling the shoulders back and together and down on your back. Just waking up the shoulders and neck. It's such a common place for us to hold tension. So just kind of noting that if you're feeling it, and see if you can let it go as we begin our practice. All right, good. Now let's begin to move our spine. Inhale the arms to the sky, and then exhale as you bend your body to the left. Left hand comes to the chair, right arm stretches up and over. So we're keeping our two shoulders in one line, supporting ourselves with that left hand at the seat of the chair, and really feeling an opening through that right side body. Good. Inhale to the top. Then let's take the other side. So right hand comes to the chair, left arm stretches up and over. Just noticing, observing if one side feels different than the other, that's perfectly fine. And you can adjust the depth of the pose as you need if you've got one side that's tight. Inhale, arms to the top. Exhale, twist your body gently to the left. First twist of the day. Don't torque your spine too much, just gently rotating around your midline. And then inhale to the top. Exhale, twist the other way. So twisting right, arms come down alongside. Good. Inhale to the top and release. And then let's take that all through twice more, one breath in each position. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bend gently to the left. Right arm is up. Inhale to the top. Exhale, bend gently right. Inhale to the top. Exhale, twist left. Inhale up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale up. Once more through. Bend to your left. Inhale up. Exhale, bending to the right. Good. Keep going. The two twists on your own. And as we're warming up, just really getting connected to your body and whatever you're feeling this morning. And remembering to try not to judge whatever it is that you feel. Relax those arms down to your lap and stop and breathe. And just observe any sensations you feel in your arms or your back as we begin our warm-up. All right, good. Let's keep warming up the arms. So let's take our arms out to the sides, palms facing front, and both thumbs are pointing up at first. Now we're going to turn the left hand to face down. So the thumb points down, palm is facing the back of your chair. And then we're going to bring right hand up and behind our head, left hand down and behind your back. Good. And then take the arms out and switch the hands. Now the right arm goes down behind your back, left arm behind your head. Good. Take it out to the sides. And now on your own pace, just take it back and forth, maybe 3 or 4 times. So the idea here is we're trying to open up our shoulders, and we're just getting a little internal and external rotation of each shoulder as we switch from side to side. A couple things to notice: keeping your spine nice and straight, trying not to hunch forward as much as possible. One more time. Here we go. Last one here. And then let's extend the arms out to the side and just stay here a moment. So engaging your triceps, those muscles on the backs of your upper arms, where we sometimes get a little flabby skin, engage those muscles and strengthen your arms. Good. Now release the hands to your lap and just feel what you feel in your arms, maybe in your shoulders or your back. All right, good. Now let's keep warming up. We're going to practice standing up and sitting down a few times. So first, maybe scoot your bum back a little bit in the chair, because when we sit back down, we want to not fall off the front of our chair. So bum scoots back a little bit, feet nice and solid. Now, if standing up and sitting down is a little bit of a challenge for you, remember you can use your hands to help you at the chair. If it's easy for you, then hands to your heart, lean forward, nice flat back here. Push into the floor and inhale, stand all the way up. Then hands to your heart, sit your hips back, and we're going to hover just a moment with a nice flat back before we have a seat. Make sure the chair is there and sit it down. All right, let's do that 2 more times. Lean forward, push into the floor, inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, sit your hips back, hover a moment, and sit down. 1 more time, lean forward, inhale, stretch to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart, sit it back, hover. Stay a little longer this time if it feels okay to your legs, and then have a seat. All right, good. So you might feel a little warmth building in the body. Let's go ahead and stand up. We're going to make sure your chair is facing the seat of the chair toward your mat, and make sure that your chair is at least partially on your mat so it doesn't slide out from under you in case you have a slippery floor underneath you. All right, good. Now, also, if you wanted to try it with the blocks instead of the chair, you might set your blocks up just in front of your chair, and I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. First, let's all begin with some sun stretches using the chair. So toes are about 6 or 12 inches in front of the chair, hands to your heart. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, sit your hips down, nice flat back, grabbing the chair. Inhale, hinge forward, legs straighten. Exhale, sit your hips down, look forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms to the sky. Exhale to your heart. Good, let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit it down. Nice flat back, engage those back muscles. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, sit down, look forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to your heart. 1 more like this. Inhale. Exhale, connecting to your own body as you breathe. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, sit down, look forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, awesome. We're going to do 2 more like this, but if you want to try it with the blocks instead of the chair, I'll show you how that looks. If you're happy using your chair, keep doing what you're doing. Here we go. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit it down. Now, for the blocks, you got to sit a little deeper into your hips, but you grab the blocks, and then inhale, hinge forward, just like before. Exhale, sit your hips down, look forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Good, 1 more like that. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit deeply into your hips, hands to the chair or the blocks. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, sit it down, look forward. Inhale, rise up. And exhale to your heart. All right, good. Now let's keep going. We're going to take another version of the sun salutation where we step back and take a twist. So you can put your hands on the chair or the blocks, whichever is working better for you today. I'm going to demo it with the chair. Here we go. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit it down, nice flat back, grab your chair. Left foot steps behind, and you twist your body to the right, right arm to the sky. Now turn back to the front, bend the front knee, step forward, and inhale, rise up. Exhale to your heart. Keep going, other leg, inhale. Exhale, sit it down. This time the right foot steps back and you twist to the left. Remember, adjust the shape of your arms in any way you need to. Turn back to the front, bend the front knee, step forward, and rise up. Exhale to your heart. 2 more like this. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit it down. Left foot steps back, and we twist to the right. Exhale, back to the front. Step forward and come up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit it down. Right foot steps back, twist to your left. Come back to the front. Step forward and come up. Exhale to your heart. One last set on each side. Inhale. Moving on your own, you know what you're doing. Each time we move and breathe, and we're practicing with a calm heart and calm breath, we get a little more connected and a little more comfortable with our bodies so we can build that trust and confidence. Last one, inhale. Exhale. So always maintaining that nice calm breath as you move and just connecting and feeling everything that you sense in your body without judging it. Inhale to the top. Exhale to your heart. And let's stop and breathe a moment. So just notice what you're feeling in your body. Notice anything that's feeling warm or maybe stretched a little bit. It's all good. Whatever it is you're feeling today, that's where we are. That's where we're meant to be. All right? So much in yoga is about accepting the day-to-day. You know, some days we're super flexible. Some days we're really strong. Some days not so much. And it's all about just showing up, no matter what it is you're feeling, showing up and accepting that and working within that space. And that can be true for everything off the mat too, right? All right, let's go ahead and get started with some sequences. Here we go. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, sit your hips down, grab the chair or the blocks. Step the left foot back, and we're going to come up to warrior one. So we're going to stand up with our hips square to the front of the mat. The back toes are out at about 20 degrees, and the feet are on railroad tracks. So they're not on a tight wire in the middle of your mat. They're on railroad tracks. So there's a little space for your hips, and we inhale the arms up. The front knee should be just above the front ankle, and the back leg should be working toward being straight. Good. Breathe here. All right, now let's bring our arms into a cactus shape, and we're going to take 5 of those big cactus breaths. On the inhale, open your chest. On the exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And these can be however big or small you need them to be for where your chest is today. Good. 2 more. Such an excellent stretch for the front of our chest. It also moves lymphatic fluid. Such a beautiful thing to do. Good. After that 5th, let's inhale, stretch the arms to the sky and straighten your front leg. Now, with a nice flat back, we're going to lean forward, hinging from our hips, reaching forward. Nice strong back, strengthening that back, and then bring your hands to your chair, and we'll stretch into a little pyramid shape here. So it's pretty common for the hips to want to kind of open to the side. You want to try to square those hips to the front and straighten the front leg as much as possible. It's fine if it stays bent because you've got maybe a tight hamstring. That's no big deal, but just straighten as much as feels comfortable and breathe. If you've got more flexibility, you can let your body hang down a little further and work into that front leg. Good. Now, wherever you are, lengthen your spine, plant your left hand, and twist your body to the right. So here's that twisted shape that we did in the second type of sun salutation, but here we're going to stay a moment. And remember, adjust the shape of that top arm in any way you need to accommodate any tightness you might have. Learning to work with our body, that's how we build the trust. Good. Now turn back to the front. Plant your hands solidly on the chair and then step into that front foot, lifting the back leg off the floor. This is warrior 3, so strong on the back side of your body. Breathing here, and then bring those feet to meet. Sit your hips down and inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good, take a breath, and then we'll try the other side. All right, good. Let's do the other side. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit it down. This time the right foot steps back, and again, it's warrior 1. So back toes out at 20 degrees, hips square to the front, and feet are on railroad tracks. Front knee bends gently, knee just above the ankle, not creeping way in front of the ankle. Breathe here. Beautiful. Now, cactus breaths, arms into our cactus. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, close. Exploring your comfortable range of motion. So never stretching to pain, just stretching as far as feels good to you today. That's 3. 2 more. Inhale. 4. Inhale. 5. And then reach to the sky, straighten that front leg. And then we're going to hinge from our hips, slowly coming forward, building that strength in your back. Good. And when you're ready, grab the chair, settle your feet, square your hips to the front, and lean as far forward as feels okay. We're stretching the back side of that front leg. Good. Then when you're ready, lengthen the upper body, bend the front knee, and step into that front foot, warrior 3. Your body looks like a big capital letter T, perhaps, but the foot doesn't have to go that high. If that's not working for you today, a little lower is also fine. Just feel a strength on your backside. And then bring the feet to meet. Sit your hips down and inhale to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart, and stop and breathe. All right, for this next sequence, we are going to bring our little folded blanket or towel to the middle of our mat because we're going to step behind it and practice putting our knee down on the floor. So we're going to be building some strength in the legs and some flexibility in the hips. That makes it easier to get up and down for us. All right. Very good. Now, coming back to place with your blanket just behind your feet. Here we go. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit it down. Grab your chair or your blocks. Step the left foot behind your blanket, and first we're going to stand up to warrior 1 again. So finding warrior 1, if you're thinking, well, this feels a little too easy for me, you could always make a little more distance between the front and the back leg. So you can always deepen your practice to get a little more stretch when you feel ready. All right, now we are going to test our balance with a slightly different type of movement in breath. So on an inhale, you're going to straighten the front leg, reach the arms to the sky. On the exhale, twist your body to the right as your arms come into a T. Inhale, back to the top, straighten the front leg. Exhale, twist to the right, arms into a T. 3 more. Inhale to the top, arms up. Exhale, twist right. 2 more on your own. Notice how your body adapts and adjusts to maintain your balance in movement. Our bodies are so amazing and strong if we just give them the opportunity. Inhale to the top. Very nice. Now reach to the sky, and we're going to fold forward like we did in the first sequence. Grab your chair and find that pyramid shape just for 1 or 2 breaths here. Good. Now lengthen your spine, and we're going to bring that back heel up. So see how I rotated my foot to where the back heel is up? And that's going to allow us to take some dips. So you're going to dip down, imagining like you might put that back knee on the floor, and then push the back heel away to straighten. Dip it down, push the back heel away, dip it down, and push it away. Good. Now this time we'll lower down and we'll actually put that back knee on the floor, and we'll settle in for a little low lunge. So you might need to wiggle the front foot forward depending on the shape of your legs. You don't want the front knee to go like a mile in front of the front ankle. You might have a hard time seeing that. So we want to adjust the shape if we need. And actually for me, I need to scoot my blanket back a little bit so that when I let my hip sink forward, my front knee is still about above my hip. So you could stay here with hands at your chair supporting you, or you could bring the arms all the way up and get a little stretch through the shoulders as well. What we're trying to do here mainly is open the muscles on the front of the left hip. So we're letting our hips sink gently forward, but still stretching up with the spine out of the hips. So a nice low lunge here, breathing. Good. Now bring your hands to your chair, tuck those back toes under, and then push the back heel away to straighten. And then we're going to step forward and inhale back to the sky. Exhale to your heart. And stop and breathe here a moment and just observe your two hips. If they feel a little bit different after we stretch deeply on one side. So now, of course, we're going to stretch the other side. Let's try it. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit it down, grab your chair. Right foot steps behind your blanket. Find warrior one. Hips are square to the front. Back leg pushing towards straight. Front knee just above the ankle. Good. Now let's take those twisty breaths with movement. So inhale, straighten the front leg, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left, arms into a T. Inhale, arms to the top, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend and twist. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, getting used to the feeling of your 2 feet balancing, holding you upright even though you're moving. Good. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Good. Inhale to the top. Reach up and lean forward with that nice, strong, flat back, strengthening the muscles on the back of your upper body. Good. Finding that pyramid and leaning down, feeling that stretch through the back of the front leg. And then rotating that back heel up so that we can get ready for our dips. So nice long spine, and then bend your knees. Push the back heel away to straighten. Bend and straighten and bend and straighten. And then finally, we put that back knee down on the floor. We adjust the front foot in any way we need. And then we're going to lean into those hips. Feel a stretch through the front of your right thigh and hip. And if it feels okay, you can bring the arms up, or you can keep them at the chair if that feels more stable to you. Good. So spine stretching up and out of the hips. You can even add a little tiny back bend if that feels good to you. Gorgeous. Then hands to your chair. Tuck the back toe. Push that back heel away. Step forward. And inhale. Rise up. Exhale to your heart. And stop and breathe. All right. Awesome job, guys. So let's make our way onto the floor. We'll do a few seated stretches and then some back bending. You might want to go ahead and move your chair off the front of your mat so that we can use the length of our mat for our back bends. But we are going to start our floor poses in a tabletop. So if you need to use the chair to get down, we want to just come down onto our hands and knees. So bringing those knees back onto your blanket. And we're coming into a tabletop shape. So the wrists are just under the shoulders and knees just under the hips. Some people like to use yoga blocks under their hands, and if that feels better to you, feel free to do it. But let's begin with a little cat-cow movement here. So you probably know this one. Inhale, belly sinks down, back arches, head comes up. And then exhale, push your spine up to the sky, shoulder blades spread. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale, push it up to the sky, feeling your whole spine bending forward and back. Keep moving with your own breath. So you're bringing all this delicious blood flow into the cartilage and the connective tissue on the fronts and backs of your spine. So good for us. Very good. One or two more like that. All right. Now we're going to see about practicing downward facing dog just for a moment. So you're going to tuck your toes under and see about pushing your hips up into the sky and just taking one or two breaths here. If you don't want to put weight into your arms, that's perfectly fine. Instead, you can take a puppy dog where you move the hands forward, keeping knees down, and get a similar stretch with your knees on the floor. So option for puppy dog or downward facing dog. We're trying to stretch our low back, so it's fine to bend the knees a lot if you need to do that to get your back straight. What we don't want is a big curled back like this. We want hips up and back, stretching the low back. Good. Now let's all put our knees down and sink back to rest a moment in child's pose. So for child's pose, I like my knees kind of wide so my belly can hang down in between. And then you let your upper body sink forward and rest. To me, this feels like a delicious stretch through my low back. So I like to shift hips side to side. But of course, adjust in any way you need for your body. All right, good. Now, we're going to come up onto our hands and knees, and then we're going to just walk ourselves forward and lie down on our belly. So first, just landing on your belly. You might need to adjust that blanket if it feels like it's too much depth underneath your legs. You could remove it, but if it feels okay, you can just rest here on your belly a moment. Let's bend our legs and windshield wipe the legs side to side. See how that feels to your low back. So we've been focusing a little bit on strengthening our back because for so many of us, we get weak low back muscles and we tend to hunch forward a little. So strengthening that back will hopefully get us a little straighter and a little healthier spine. All right, good. So that being said, let's keep working on that. So first we're going to take Sphinx Pose, which is a sort of simple back bend. You're going to see about bringing the elbows just under your shoulders and the hands point straight forward. The legs can be in any shape that feels okay. And then what you're going to try to feel is imagine your elbows are pulling back toward your hips as your shoulders pull down and back. So the collarbones get nice and wide, shoulder blades are pulling down your back, and your head is stretching just gently forward and up. So you might feel the muscles all along your spine engaging, even though you're just here static in this position. So gently strengthening the back and getting the flexibility as well. Good. Go ahead and roll forward and rest. You could put your hands under your forehead or rest in any position that feels good. And we'll take that one more time in just a moment. All right, let's take it once more. Sphinx, elbows under the shoulders, hands point forward. And then when you're ready, feel those elbows pull back toward your hips, collarbones broaden, shoulder blades down the back, head stretching forward. So you might feel almost a tension of a stretching forward of your head and then a down and back with those elbows, lengthening the spine to strengthen it without getting too much compression into the low back. Good. Go ahead and lower down and rest again. All right, very nice. Now we're going to take just one set of a Cobra. If Sphinx is pretty challenging for you and it bothers your back in any way, then you might want to just try that one again and focus on lengthening the spine. But if it feels okay and you want to try a little bit more vigorous version, we'll take Cobra pose. So in Cobra, our hands are going to come just under our shoulders. Again, the elbows are stretching back toward the hips. And in this one, we inhale and lift our upper body just gently off the mat. So we're not pushing all the way up here and getting a huge back bend. Our elbows maybe come into a 90-degree angle or so, and we're feeling all the strength in our back. But that same sensation, like in Sphinx, shoulder blades down the back, head stretching forward and slightly up. Strong, strong back muscles, and then roll it down and rest. All right, good. Maybe let's windshield wipe the legs once or twice more. Very nice. Now let's roll over onto our backs. But what I'm going to do is spin around so my legs are facing toward the chair so that at the end I can put my legs up on the chair for a nice little delicious inversion. So rolling around to get onto your back with your legs facing toward the chair. You could prop your head with your blanket if that feels nice. It kind of just happened to be in the right spot for me. All right. Very good. Now, first we're going to extend our right leg to the sky, and you could bring your hands maybe around your thigh. If that's not working for you, you can always use a strap to put around the back of your leg or around your foot. But if it's okay, you just hold the leg there. Maybe you bend and straighten once or twice. If you're very flexible, you might even be able to grab the calf and pull that leg toward you. But grabbing wherever feels okay, and just breathe. Good. Now bend that top knee, the right knee, interlace the hands in front of the shin, and we're going to straighten the other leg and pull that right knee up and out. So imagine like you're going to tuck your right knee into your underarm. It's a nice place to take a few rolls of that right ankle while you're stretching the hips. And just observe what you feel in your hips. Maybe you feel a little stretch on the front of that long extended leg. That's good. All right, let's release it. And we'll take the other side. So bending both knees first, extending left leg to the sky, maybe grabbing underneath the thigh or underneath the calf, and just pulling that leg toward you. Again, you can take any kind of movement with that ankle that feels nice. Feel some stretching through the calf or the muscles on the front of the shin. Good, and then bending that knee, interlace the hands in front of the left shin. If it's okay, you extend the right leg long and then pull that left knee up and out. Good, breathing here. Just connecting to whatever you feel. Observing the stretch in your body. Good. And then releasing that pose and hugging both knees into your chest, maybe rocking side to side a little. Good. And then we're going to take my favorite spinal twist. So you're going to let the knees fall all the way to the right and you roll, sorry, knees fall all the way to the left and you roll all the way onto your left side, stacking your two palms on top of one another. And then we're going to inhale and open that top arm all the way up and back like you're opening the cover of a book. And then we close the book. Remember, adjust this in any way you need. If that right side of your chest is super tight, maybe you bend the elbow as you open your book. Getting used to the stretch that you need. Close one more time. And then we're going to open our book and we're going to stay here in a nice juicy twist. I tend to need to settle my shoulder blades into the floor to get comfortable. And then I also usually use my left hand on top of my right knee to just hold myself here in this twist. That allows the rest of your body to sort of relax so that you're not having to use your back muscles to keep you there in the shape. So coming toward the end of practice, really focusing on allowing your body to relax into these shapes as you breathe. Observing when your body grips or tries to hold a lot of tension and getting used to feeling that. And then getting used to seeing if you can let it go. All right, good. Now let's come out of this and we'll go the other way. So coming across the top, hugging those knees in, and then guiding the knees over to the right, rolling onto the right side, stacking your palms, and then opening your book 3 times. Open and close. And remember, same thing on this side, adjusting the arm movement as you need, depending on how much tightness you have in your chest. On the third open, see if you can settle into a nice juicy twist. Again, using right hand to stabilize the legs, if that helps. Propping your body in any way you need. Feeling your body relax. All right, very nice. When you're ready, you can come out of that and then kind of take any little movements that feel good to you. Maybe you want to windshield wipe your knees once or twice or stretch your arms. And then I'm going to give you 2 options for Savasana today. So option number 1 is a traditional Savasana, just lying flat on your back. But because we have our nice chair here, if you want to take your Savasana with a relaxing sort of legs in the sky shape, you scoot your bum a little closer to the chair, and then you're going to put your calves right onto the seat of the chair. And then we're here basically in like a legs up the wall shape. Super relaxing to get those legs up in the air. It's really a nice feeling to the low back as it sort of flattens and gives a different stretch to the low back here to have the legs up. So see if that feels nice to you. And then come into relaxation. First observing any part of your body that might be feeling a little tense or a little strained. And just take a few deep breaths in and out. Inviting your body to relax. Maybe observing any place that you know you usually hold tension, like the jaw or the neck or shoulders, maybe the low back. See if you can let all that go and melt into your mat. And then let's just rest here for maybe 10 breaths, practicing stillness and relaxation. Maybe observing your belly gently rise and fall with each breath. It's another beautiful way to just connect to your body, tuning in to the natural pace of your breath, feeling the aliveness in your body as you breathe. All right. As always, remember, if you want to stay a little longer in Savasana, feel free to pause the video and let yourself relax as long as you like. But if you're ready to start waking up, you can take a few turns of your wrists and ankles, maybe turning neck side to side, and then slowly dismounting from your chair and rolling your body onto the side of your choice for a few breaths. Maybe here, throw a little love and gratitude to yourself for getting on your mat, for committing the time and effort to yourself, to connecting to yourself, to building back the trust and confidence in your body, to really loving and having compassion for our bodies and all that we've been through. It's really quite amazing. All right, when you're ready, you can push yourself up to a comfortable seat. All right, bringing hands to your heart. And again, just a little gratitude to your body for healing, for carrying you through, for putting in the work today. Have a fabulous day. Let me know if you have any questions. Namaste.